Something is happening at Costco right now and most people are completely missing it. I was in the warehouse 3 days ago, walking through the aisles like I always do, and I started noticing gaps. Empty shelves where things used to live. Products I've been buying for years just gone. No sign, no explanation, just gone. And when you ask the employees, sometimes they tell you it's temporary. But some of them, the honest ones, will look at you and say, no, that's not coming back. That's what this video is about today. I've been tracking Costco's product rotation, monitoring forums, talking to people close to the supply chain, and doing my own price comparisons for the last several months. And what I've found, especially right now in 2026, is worth paying close attention to. I have 15 products for you today. Some of them will surprise you. Some of them you'll recognize immediately. And one of them, number 7, I genuinely did not see coming. When I looked it up, I stood in my kitchen and thought, if I don't move on this today, I'm going to regret it for a year. Stay with me through the whole list, because this isn't about panic. It's about knowing what's happening before everyone else does. That's the whole reason this channel exists. If you're new here, hit subscribe right now. This is the kind of content we put out regularly. Real information, real prices, real decisions you can make today. Let's get into it. Product number 1, Kirkland Signature Chocolate Chip Cookies. This one hurts a lot of people, and I mean a lot. These little 1-ounce cookie packs became a staple in millions of households. Clean ingredients, nut-free facility, individually wrapped. They were perfect for lunchboxes, and they disappeared fast in my house too. A box of 30 packs ran you around $10. That's a really good deal for what you were getting. Here's what happened. Cocoa prices started their climb a couple years ago, and they did not stop. Environmental issues in West Africa, which is where a massive portion of the world's cocoa comes from, hit production hard. And when cocoa gets expensive, chocolate-based products become unsustainable at Costco's price model. They already discontinued the Kirkland Signature chocolate chips back in 2024 for this very reason. The cookies were next. I spoke with someone who manages a regional food distribution account, and they told me that when a warehouse club product depends on a commodity that's seen a 30 to 40% cost increase, the math just doesn't work anymore. The supplier has to raise prices or walk away. Costco usually walks away before they raise prices on members. I bought 4 boxes when I first heard the rumblings. That came out to $40. Those cookies have a shelf life of about 6 to 8 months in a cool, dry pantry. I stored mine in a sealed container in the basement. By the time I need to replace them, I'll know whether the price of cocoa has come back down. If you have kids, or if you just love having a grab-and-go snack that doesn't fall apart in a bag, find these and buy as many as you reasonably can. They're still showing up at some warehouses. But based on what I'm hearing, that window is closing. You don't want to be the one trying to replace a $30 for $10 product at a regular grocery store for $2.50 a pack. Product number 2, Kirkland Signature Sport Drink 24 pack. If you've been reaching for this on your Costco runs for the last couple of years, you already know what happened. People were devastated, and I get it. These were 20-ounce bottles sweetened with cane sugar and real electrolytes. The kind of drink athletes actually want. The 24-pack was a clean, affordable alternative to Gatorade. And at Costco pricing, it was a serious deal. The discontinuation confirmed itself in summer of 2025 when warehouses nationwide ran out and simply didn't restock. Members asked employees. Employees confirmed it. Forum threads lit up. One person wrote, "I am devastated," and I think most of us nodded. From what's been reported, slow sales data combined with a shift in the electrolyte drink category toward premium and functional beverages made the contract difficult to sustain. The margins on a cane sugar sports drink were already thin. Add in rising bottle costs and transportation pressure, and the numbers stopped working. I had picked up 2 cases before they fully disappeared. I paid a little over $35 total. Finding something comparable at a regular retailer today, You're looking at $2 or more per bottle. That's $48 for a case. The savings were real. These are shelf-stable and do not require refrigeration until opened. They'll last 2 years or more in a cool storage space. If you somehow still find them at a Costco near you, consider it a genuine score. The replacement options at warehouse pricing just aren't there right now. This is a gap that the market hasn't filled yet. Product number 3. Kirkland Signature Sirloin. Beef patties, 85%. Lean. Here's where things get serious for anyone who grills regularly or feeds a family. These were premium burgers at a warehouse price. 85% lean sirloin. The package came in at around $25, and it was genuinely good beef. Not filler, not mystery blend, just sirloin. The combination of rising beef production costs and new trade pressures on lean beef imports has made this particular product unsustainable. Beef prices across the board have been hitting near record highs. A pound of ground beef at a regular grocery store has gone from being a budget item to a premium item in the span of 3 years. At the warehouse level, the margin just got too thin. I heard from someone who works in retail meat distribution, not at Costco specifically, who said that when lean beef prices spike, warehouse clubs are usually the first to cut the SKU because they operate on such tight markup percentages. They can't absorb the cost the way a regular grocery store can by blending beef types. I stocked my chest freezer with 3 packages before the last local shipments came in. That was about $75. Those patties will last up to 12 months frozen at 0 degrees. I've been pulling them out 1 pack at a time, and they taste exactly as good as they did the day I bought them. If you have freezer space, this is the move. Buy it now while you can still find it. Replacing this with supermarket sirloin patties of comparable quality will run you significantly more per pound. Don't wait until the shelf is empty to realize what you've lost. Product number 4. Kirkland Signature Soy Milk. 12-pack. This one is quieter than the others, but it's real. The Kirkland Signature Soy Milk had a loyal following, particularly families with dairy sensitivities and people who've been buying plant-based milk alternatives for years. A 12-pack at around $15 was solid value. The problem is shelf space competition. Oat milk surged, almond milk entrenched itself, and then every brand under the sun launched their own pea protein milk, cashew milk, barista blend, and ultra-filtered version. Soy milk, which used to be the main alternative, quietly lost ground. When a product's sales velocity drops at Costco, it gets rotated out. That's just how the model works. A retail analyst who tracks warehouse club inventory patterns has noted that plant-based milk SKUs at warehouse clubs typically have a shelf life of about 18 to 24 months before rotation. Soy was one of the originals, and it's now one of the casualties. I bought 2 cases when I started noticing the stock getting inconsistent. $28 covered both. UHT processed soy milk, like what Kirkland sold, has a shelf life of up to a year unopened at room temperature. I keep mine on a basement shelf in a cool corner, and they rotate in perfectly. If soy milk is part of your regular routine, for cooking, for cereal, for your protein shakes, go find these now. What replaces them at Costco may be higher priced or may not suit your taste. Stock up now while you still have the option. Product number 5. Kirkland Signature Fully Cooked Bacon. I buy this almost every month, have for years. And right now, the situation with this product is one I want you to take seriously. The fully cooked bacon, microwave ready, hickory smoked, shelf stable until opened, is one of those products that sounds like a convenience item but is actually a survival staple for busy families. It's a full pound of cooked bacon. No mess, no splatter. Just heat and eat. The price has been climbing. It went from around $11 not long ago to what some warehouses are now ringing up at over $17 for that same package. That's a significant jump. Bacon prices overall hit nearly $7 per pound in early 2025, a record high. The reasons are real. Feed costs, labor costs, tariff pressure on certain pork cuts, and sustained demand. Someone who manages procurement for a mid-sized restaurant chain, not connected to Costco, told me that fully cooked shelf-stable bacon is one of the toughest categories right now because you're paying for the commodity, the cooking process, and the packaging, and all three cost more than they did 3 years ago. I bought 6 packages when I saw the price tick up 2 weeks ago. That put me out a little over $100, but I know where this is going. These have a shelf life of several months unopened and up to a week refrigerated after opening. I freeze some of them in Ziploc bags and they hold up perfectly. This product may still be around for a while, but the price trend is not your friend. Lock in what you can now. This is about protecting your grocery budget, one product at a time. Product number 6, Kirkland Signature Organic Diced Tomatoes. 8-pack. Let me tell you something about canned tomatoes that most people don't think about until it's too late. Canned tomatoes are a foundation food. They go into pasta sauce, chili, soup, rice dishes, braises. They are in more meals than most people realize. The Kirkland Signature Organic Diced Tomatoes 8-pack was one of the best values in the whole store. The price on this has gone from around $6 a few years ago to over $10 at some warehouses. That's a nearly 75% increase. And it's not finished moving. A huge percentage of canned tomatoes come from Mexico, and trade pressure on Mexican produce imports has made the cost of sourcing tomatoes genuinely painful for suppliers. I have spoken to someone in the canned goods distribution space who said organic tomato pricing specifically has been pushed higher by both agricultural input costs and organic certification bottlenecks. When you layer tariff exposure on top of that, the landed cost of an organic canned tomato has gone up substantially. I bought 4 of the 8-packs. That's 32 individual cans for about $42. Commercially canned tomatoes are good for 2 to 3 years when stored in a cool, dry place away from sunlight. I keep mine in the basement next to the beans and the broth. If these disappear entirely, and I think there's real pressure on this product right now, you will not find an equivalent organic option at this price anywhere else. Don't treat canned tomatoes as a background item. They are the backbone of your pantry. Product number 7, Kirkland Signature Extra Virgin Olive Oil 2-pack. And here it is, number 7. This is the one I said you wouldn't see coming. Let me give you some context. Just a few years ago, 2021, you could buy the 2 3-liter jugs of Kirkland Signature Extra Virgin Olive Oil for around $25. I remember standing in that aisle thinking it was almost too good to be true. Today, that same 2-pack is pushing $50 and higher at some locations. That is a near doubling of price in 4 years. And the worst part is this. The product is increasingly at risk of being scaled back or reformulated because the raw material situation is genuinely dire. The Mediterranean olive harvest has been suffering for several years running. Spain, Italy, and Greece, the 3 biggest producers, have all reported significant crop losses due to drought, heat stress, and disease. The global olive oil market is projected to tighten further before it recovers. I've been following agricultural commodity reports, and the situation being described in the olive oil supply chain is not short-term. This is structural. Trees that were damaged by drought don't recover in one season. They take years. When I saw the price starting to climb, I bought 2 2-packs. That's 4 3-liter jugs. It cost me about $95. Extra virgin olive oil sealed in its original container keeps for 18 to 24 months in a cool, dark place. I store mine in a kitchen cabinet away from the stove. If you cook with olive oil regularly, and most households with any Mediterranean or Italian influence do, this is one of the most important stock-up moves you can make right now. The price is not coming down fast, and the supply is not getting easier. Buy it while the Kirkland version is still on the shelf, because what replaces it will cost you more. Product number 8. Kirkland Signature Chocolate-Covered Almonds. This one is genuinely painful to talk about, because these things are addictive in the best possible way. A few years ago, this was a $20 splurge. Fun, but controlled. Today, a 3-pound bag is sitting at around $25 at many warehouses. And 2 years before that, it was under $14. That is nearly double in just a few years. Here is the double problem. Almonds are getting more expensive due to water issues in California. The state produces over 80% of the world's almonds, and ongoing drought and water restriction policies are squeezing production. At the same time, cocoa prices are elevated due to the West Africa supply crisis I mentioned earlier. You put those two pressures together, and you get a product that is genuinely hard to keep affordable. Someone who tracks specialty food pricing told me that chocolate-enrobed nut products are among the most difficult SKUs to hold at a fixed price point right now because you're dealing with two separate commodity shocks simultaneously. I grabbed 2 bags when I was last in the store. About $50 total. These have a shelf life of about a year when stored in a cool, dry environment. I keep mine in a sealed container in the pantry and they stay fresh. If you want to extend them further, they freeze surprisingly well. I don't call this a luxury anymore. This is a morale item. When prices are stressful and the world feels heavy, having a bag of your favorite snack matters more than people admit. Stock up now. The price on this one is going up, not down. Product number 9. Kirkland Signature Lasagna. Comfort food at warehouse scale. That's what this was. The Kirkland Signature frozen lasagna used to run about $10 when many of us first discovered it. A full, hearty, family-sized tray. Today, some members are reporting it closer to $18, and that's if they can find it. More concerning, forum users have noted the tray appears to have quietly lost about 25% of its weight compared to a few years ago. That's shrinkflation in its clearest form. Same box. Less food, higher price. And the reasons are traceable. Beef prices are near record highs. Cheese prices have climbed. The combination of protein and dairy inputs in a lasagna product essentially means it's exposed to 2 of the most volatile food commodities right now. I talked to someone in the frozen food distribution business, not Costco specifically, who said that multi-layered frozen entrees like lasagna are one of the most expensive categories to keep stable because the recipe touches so many ingredients simultaneously. A price change in beef and cheese at the same time is brutal. I bought 3 trays and put them directly in my chest freezer. They run about $18 now, so that was around $54. Frozen lasagna at 0 degrees Fahrenheit keeps for 3 to 6 months without quality loss and up to a year safely. I date the bags so I know what to reach for first. For families who rely on a weeknight meal that needs no thought and no prep, losing this product at this price would really hurt. Get it while it's still there. Product number 10. Kirkland Signature Organic Orange Juice. 2-pack. This one stings on a personal level. I drink orange juice every morning, and this was the product I counted on. The 2-pack of 59-ounce jugs used to cost under $10. Some members got it for less. Today, that same 2-pack is around $15, and some warehouses have been inconsistently stocked for months. The orange juice story is one of the saddest in American agriculture right now. Citrus greening disease has been devastating Florida groves for years. Add in multiple hurricane seasons that damaged trees and soil. Add in the crop forecast for 2024 and 2025 dropping to historic lows. Production levels not seen since before World War II. It's not an exaggeration. The supply of Florida orange juice is genuinely imperiled. When supply falls this sharply, even Costco cannot hold the price. And there is increasing chatter in retail circles that the current 2-pack format may shift. Smaller bottles, fewer ounces, same price. That's the shrinkflation they'll use when they can't raise the sticker anymore. I bought 4 2-packs on my last 2 trips. The total was about $60. Unopened orange juice that's been pasteurized and properly sealed keeps for several weeks in the refrigerator and much longer in a cool basement if the bottles are shelf stable. I rotate them every few weeks. This is a product that's experiencing real agricultural disruption. Not warehouse politics, not trend rotation. Real crop failure economics. Every time you don't buy it now, you're buying it later at a higher price. Product number 11. Kirkland Signature Lunch Meat Variety. Pack working families love this product, and I understand exactly why. 3 14-ounce packs, roast beef, ham and chicken, all in one package. Easy to grab, easy to build a week's worth of lunches around. A few years ago, this ran under $12. Today, some warehouses are showing it closer to $18. That's a jump of around 50% in a relatively short window. And the pressure isn't letting up. Deli meat relies on labour-intensive processing, refrigerated supply chains and protein commodity pricing, all of which have moved significantly upward over the last few years. Someone with knowledge of cold chain distribution told me that refrigerated deli products are facing a compounding cost problem. Raw meat prices, packaging costs, and cold storage fees have all increased, and they can't easily swap out ingredients the way a packaged snack brand can. I grabbed 2 packs and they're in my refrigerator right now. These have a use-by date of several weeks unopened, and you can absolutely freeze individual portions in Ziploc bags for later use. I pull them out the night before, and they're ready to slice and build a sandwich by morning. If this product disappears from your warehouse, and the inconsistent stocking is already happening, the deli counter alternatives will cost you more and require more time. Get ahead of it while the supply is still predictable. Product number 12. Kirkland Signature Hazelnut Spread, 2-pack. If you know, you know. This was the Nutella dupe that actually beat Nutella. 2 1-kilogram jars. The price was remarkable, and the spread was genuinely delicious. Members described it as being as good as or better than the name brand version at a fraction of the cost. The problem is hazelnuts, and this is a problem that is not going away quickly. Hazelnut production is geographically concentrated. Turkey grows about 70% of the world's hazelnuts, and the crop is extremely vulnerable to frost, drought, and seasonal disruption. In recent years, production has been inconsistent. That inconsistency flows directly into the cost of hazelnut paste, which is the core ingredient in any spread like this. Separately, cocoa pricing, as I mentioned earlier, has made the chocolate element of the recipe more expensive at the same time. So you have 2 major ingredients in one product, both under cost pressure simultaneously. I've watched this one closely. I bought 3 2-packs when the price was still reasonable. That was about $50 total. Hazelnut spread has a shelf life of 1 year or longer when stored at room temperature in a sealed jar. Once opened, it keeps for several weeks. If you have kids who eat this daily, or if you're the adult in the house who uses it to make breakfast survivable, take this seriously. When it's gone from Costco, the replacement cost at other retailers will feel like a punch in the stomach. Product number 13. Kirkland Signature Granola Bars Chocolate Chip. Here's a product that's been quietly getting more expensive while appearing completely the same. The Kirkland chocolate chip granola bars, the ones that compete with Quaker Chewy, used to run around $12 for a large box. Some reports now show them at $15 and climbing. More importantly, some long-time buyers have noticed the bars themselves seem slightly smaller and slightly thinner than they used to be. Oats are generally stable, but the chocolate chips in the bars use cocoa, and the wrapping uses petroleum-based plastics that have their own supply chain pressures. These small increases in input costs add up fast in a low-margin snack product. I've been tracking the per bar cost and the math has shifted. You used to get real value per bar. Now you're approaching what a mid-range grocery store brand costs, without the convenience of warehouse bulk pricing. I stocked 3 boxes at the current price, around $45. These stay fresh for 6 to 9 months in a sealed pantry container away from moisture and heat. I put a piece of tape on the box with the date I opened it. For families with school-age kids, this is a daily staple. The disruption of losing it at warehouse pricing matters. Buy ahead while the margin over grocery store pricing still makes sense. Product number 14. Kirkland Signature Mixed Nuts. The mixed nut situation at Costco is one of the clearest examples of global supply chain pressure landing in your snack aisle. The Kirkland signature mixed nuts, the large canister with cashews, almonds, pecans, Brazil nuts and macadamias, has been subject to ongoing pricing pressure. A few years ago, this was a great deal for a massive tin. Today, the pricing has moved upward and the composition of the mix has faced scrutiny. Some members have noticed the ratio of more expensive nuts like macadamias and Brazil nuts shifting in favor of more affordable fillers. What's happening is a genuine global nut supply crisis. Brazil nut exports out of South America have been capped due to environmental regulations. Cashew harvests in Vietnam have been impacted by disease and weather. California almond water restrictions continue. And specialty nuts like macadamias remain expensive due to the long time it takes for new trees to become productive. A specialty food buyer I know described the nut category as one of the most volatile in the entire grocery industry right now. And that volatility always flows downhill to the consumer, either in price or in a smaller, less premium mix. I bought 2 large canisters at around $35 each. Mixed nuts stay fresh for up to 12 months in a sealed container stored in a cool, dark place. I keep mine in the basement. If you want to extend them even further, nuts freeze beautifully for up to 2 years. This is one of the most nutrient-dense, calorie-stable shelf items you can buy. In a world where protein prices are climbing, nuts become even more valuable. Don't wait until the canister is smaller and the price is higher. Product number 15. Kirkland Signature Organic Chicken Stock. 6-pack. Last one. And in some ways, this one matters most because it ties everything together. Chicken stock is not a flashy product. It doesn't get talked about. But it is in soups, risottos, gravies, rice dishes, braises, and 100 other things you make without even thinking about it. The Kirkland Organic Chicken Stock 6-pack was a staple purchase for me every month. The price has been moving. Organic chicken is more expensive to produce than conventional. The feed, the space, the certification requirements. And the organic certification supply chain has faced its own logistical bottlenecks. When the raw bird gets more expensive, the stock made from it gets more expensive too. What I've started hearing from people who track warehouse club inventory is that organic food products are often the first to face SKU rationalization when supply chains tighten. Costco can switch members to a conventional version more easily than they can convince members to pay $10 more for the organic. So the organic gets cut first. I bought a case of 6 at around $23. These cartons are good for well over a year in a cool, dry pantry until opened. Once you open them, 4 days in the refrigerator. But unopened, they're practically a pantry-stable investment. If you cook from scratch even 3 times a week, you go through stock constantly. Having a supply of this on hand means you're protected from the price bump coming to all chicken products right now. Stock up on the stock. It sounds like a joke, but I mean it seriously. Here's what ties all 15 of these products together. You've noticed it by now? This isn't about any single company making bad decisions. This is about supply chains under real, sustained pressure. It's about commodity costs that have moved in one direction for years. It's about shrinkflation hiding inside the same familiar packaging. It's about shelf space that gets handed to whatever the new trend product is, while the reliable staples quietly disappear. And the people who don't notice this? They walk into the store 3 months from now expecting to find what they always find. And it won't be there. And what replaces it will cost 20, 30, sometimes 50% more. That's not the situation you want to be in. You've already done the hard part by watching this video. You know what's happening. You know which products are under pressure. You know what to grab and how to store it and why it matters. Now it's just about execution. Go in. Be calm. Buy what you need. Store it properly. And don't wait until your neighbors are standing in front of the same empty shelf wondering where it went. You're not panicking. You're preparing. There's a big difference. Thank you for spending your time here today. If this video helped you, hit the like button. It actually makes a significant difference in who gets to see this information. And subscribe if you aren't already, because I do this regularly. Every week there's something new to watch, something new to track, something worth knowing before the rest of the crowd figures it out. Stay sharp out there. I'll see you in the next one.